billion US dollars is paid in bribes, while an estimated 2.6 US dollars trillion are stolen annually through corruption, a sum equivalent to more than 5% of the global GDP. In developing countries, according to the United Nations Development Programme, funds lost to corruption are estimated at 10 times the amount of official development assistance. Now, International Anti-Corruption Day has been observed annually on 9th December since the passage of the United Nations Convention Against Corruption on 31st of October 2003 to raise public awareness for anti-corruption. The 2009 Joint International Campaign focused on how corruption hinders efforts to achieve the international agreed-upon MDGs, undermines democracy and the rule of law, leads to human rights violations, distorts markets, erodes quality of life, and allows organized crime, terrorism, and other threats to human security to flourish. Let's now look at some of your views on this day.
Observation has been that there has been a deliberate effort by the government to try and fight corruption lately. It has not been the case before, but lately there is a very concerted effort to try and fight corruption. We've seen people being arraigned in courts and being charged for corruption. A very good example is that the governor of Nairobi is in court today for the same case. So I think there is some light at the end of the tunnel insofar as the fight against corruption is concerned. The fight against corruption in the days past was actually lacking political support from the government. But lately you can see that the president and the opposition leader have actually come out together very strongly to try and fight the corruption. And I can tell you for sure that there is a very good report out there that corruption is actually being fought by the government at the very highest level.
People are being taken to court in daily basis. So that's progress. In previous days, people were not being taken to court. If you can see the investigation agencies, the ethics and anti-corruption, DCI, and the prosecution, they are doing their work. Even the charges in court, they are doing their work. So we have made a progress, and we believe that as the days come by, corruption is to be minimal in this country, because now people are in court, and if you have already committed a crime, you have already taken public funds which have been given to serve the people of Kenya, particularly various agencies who are working from the parastatals and governors, civil servants. Now they are scared. There's no one who's going to make any other mistake, because if you mess today, you'll be taken to court and you will stand alone. No one will stand with you. So we support that.
The problem has been with this country is not actually fighting corruption. The problem has been the tempo of fighting corruption. We can have 2-3 officers be appointed fighting corruption. The problem is sustainability. How do you sustain it? We have had laws. We have had laws protecting against corruption. We have very good laws. We have a good officer now running the anti-corruption body and trying to arrest even the big fishes. But the problem is, how do you keep the tempo? That's the question. Because it will be like the Michuki thing, the Matatus, so after Michuki went, the chaos of Matatu just came back. So we should not look at the individual fighting corruption. Do we have the right structures to sustain the pressure of fighting corruption? That is the question. Because right now we have the right person. Tomorrow that person will not be there or will not be there forever. So will we go back where we were? That is the question we should be asking. And hopefully maybe there will be good structures that will be able to maintain the tempo that is on now of fighting corruption.
I do believe we've made progress on corruption, but it's very little. We can do more. And I also think that the biggest challenge to corruption is the Kenyans themselves. It's been so ingrained into our culture that we have found that getting rid of it is really difficult, because it's part of who we identify with. So we as Kenyans, we need to sit down and think whether we want corruption as being part of our culture or not. That is the only way we can get rid of it, if everyone participates, if everyone says no to corruption.
In my views, I think there's nothing that has really changed actually, because if you see like the last instance, you see like the one for Governor Waitito and the other one, there's nothing, we can't see any progress. Once they are arrested, you can't see any